And then pop up all the way to me, put you in good. Please. I walk a shot. Good? Alright, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
We are the ICPK out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command Engineer Hannah. We have been teaching this truth since 1969 that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Alright? Before I start, right, I'd just like to remind everyone that our classes, right, all through the week, right, we have the Monday night history class with Officer Maka Probal, our brotherhood class with Officer Sowapiala, our Wednesday night law class with Officer Matt Kwayak, and our Friday, which is the Lashawan Kwadash, the Hebrew class with Officer Yakad, and also the Sabbath service with Officer Yakad and Officer Sowapiala on a Saturday, right? I will be the Sabbath service, alright? And on a Sunday, which is today, right, would be the scripture breakdown, right? Officer Galawan, or camp leader, usually holds down that class, right? But tonight, I will be sitting in on behalf of him, right? And my name is Officer Maikwa, right? So we will get right into it, right? So today's topic, we're going to touch a little bit on the angels, right? And the truth about the angels in the Bible, right? And normally when we think about angels, right, as we accustomed seeing them, all the angels, all through the movies and pictures and books, right, and all type of religious media that they push in society today, has the angels as white, right, and had them with two wings, right, and they'll have a halo around the head, you know what I mean? And or they'll have little naked babies, right, calling them Cupid with little small arrow, you know what I mean? That the depiction and plenty of these things go in the cartoons, right? That is where our children would pay more attention to, right? So from early, the starting off with that concept in your head of what an angel should look like, right? And which is inaccurate, right? So we're going to touch a little bit on that, right? And seeing that all these type of images flood our minds, right? It's only to show you that this basically is how the white man imagines his heaven, right? Right. That day, son, you see, there was a female angel, and we were going to get into that as we go along through the topic tonight, right? That is how the white man imagined his heaven, right? He imagined his heaven, the angels white and the countenance soft, the soft spoken, that halo around the head, and these kinds of things, right? So we're gonna get a little bit into that, right? So the first scripture tonight, I like to go to 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 4. Baba Kusha. And we're going to understand how these images really come about and how it really confusing our people, right? And these images as well as make we think that the Bible is a white man book, because we never really pay attention to actually reading the description of an angel in the Bible and things like that. All right, so we're going to get into that tonight. Right, so anybody who have it? 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 4 about Kisha.
2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Right, and this first scripture here basically talking about the white man today, right? He exalts himself above everybody, right? And how he exalt himself? By putting himself or his images, right, in books and media as above all images, right? Even he places images as the image of Christ, right? When the scripture about the color of Christ shows him to be dark skinned, right? and he put his image above all other image, right? Where it say he opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God. So any type of doctrine or religious doctrine that he has puts himself or his image above all other images, right? And he put his religion above all other religions. So everybody else, right, must worship anything that belongs to him, right? So if we look at Christianity, all the different religions from Christianity has somebody white starting it, right? And the white image are Jesus Christ or Caesar Borgia, right? As they portrait in the image, flood through all these different churches. Understand? Even the Muslims and the Chinese, all these nations go along to conspire to keep this image at the helm and at the top of religion. All right. Continue.
Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things.
Go ahead.
And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time.
That's right. I understand, and the records or we forefathers telling we to remember the things that he tell we, because in his time, meaning today, he's going to be revealed. And when you watch around today, right, with the ISUPK and this knowledge going out all across the world, the white man is being exposed, right, for who he truly is, right? Now people learning that the angel is not white, right? Christ not white. Understand the understanding that it no religion in the Bible. No understanding that the Bible was not written to everybody. And that's where I'm coming from. It was only written to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian. We now exposing this truth about this man, right? So and even if somebody say there's an atheist, right? They don't believe in God, right? And I know that basically stems from the white man, you by yourself. You understand? Or Egyptologists like to put it that way, you know? That way they say them is God. You understand? You exalting yourself above the maker.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from? Because you saying it and no other power above you. You understand where I'm coming from? So even if it's an atheist, it's still against God. You understand? Alright? So we're moving on from there. We're going to Deuteronomy 28 and 28. You understand? So this now setting me up to show you that how this white supremacy, understand, take over this entire place and causing us now to worship all this white image, right? So we're gonna understand what's taking place. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 28, Babakisha.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness.
Right. They say the Lord will smite thee with madness and blindness. Go ahead.
And astonishment of heart.
An astonishment of heart, right? And this was a curse to Israel, and this end up now applying to and it even applied to our Christian leaders in these churches, right? And our brothers who are Muslim in the mosque.
Right.
You understand? They get smite with madness and blindness. You understand where I'm coming from? And everything of this world that the white man have, it's astonishing them. You understand? Them fully consume in that. They're fully consuming drinking the wine of Babylon the Great. You understand? They're drunk with that philosophy and that doctrine.
Right.
You understand? And because that madness and that blindness on them, they're unable to see the truth in this Bible.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from? And they will continue to go down that road and be lost. Understand? Because them want or they prefer to go after money. Understand? Rather than find out about the truth of God. Right? So we will jump now to the angels, right? So we're going to Ezekiel chapter 1 and verse 5. I'm going to understand and get a little more in depth what an angel really supposed to look like.
Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 5.
Well, go ahead.
Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
All right. So it say now, this is Ezekiel, right? Getting a vision from the Most High, right? And in the vision now, he getting to see what an angel really look like, right? So he say, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, right? And when you read from the verses above, you will understand that the angels came out of a chariot, right? That the vehicles, that they mode of transport.
Right.
And that's where I'm coming from, right? And the angels now coming out of a chariot, so we get to see what one look like, right? Go ahead.
And this was the appearance, and this was their appearance.
Right. So you're going to tell you now what the angel looked like. I said this was the appearance. So you're going to describe the appearance, right? And so like before that, high up in the verse, it said there was 4 living creatures. It didn't say 4 ghosts. And that's where I'm coming from, or gas, or spiritual entities that really like to make it all mysterious.
Right.
And understand? They say it was 4 living creatures, and they're going to explain what the appearance is like. Go ahead.
They had the likeness of a man.
Right. So the first thing, right, that he lay out, that had the likeness of a man, right? So that had the characteristics of a man, right? Your arms, your legs, you have a body. You understand? You could wear a garment, right? So that had the likeness of a man. Go ahead.
And everyone had 4 faces.
Right. So it's say now before we move on, I don't want to skip too quick, right? So that the likeness of a man, right? And everyone had 4 faces, right? When they say that the likeness of a man, angels don't come like babies or teenagers, right? Them don't have that stage of life. Them just be born men. You understand? That's how the Most High make them. So them born in big men one time. And he make them, he's a man.
Right.
You understand? Them do go through teenage and get pimples and crawling with the father and all them kind of thing like that. You understand? So the angels, right? Born as men, right? They don't have no phase are growing up, because the scripture say them make in a different fashion.
Wow.
They wasn't make like we, right? He formed them in a different fashion, right? Right? Continue.
And everyone had 4 wings.
Right. Go back to the Salakia. Go back to the 4 faces, Baba Kusha.
And everyone had 4 faces.
Right. And I say now, everyone of the angel have 4 faces. So that is a frightening thing. Right? I say now, so we know from that, if you have 4 faces, they'll say that that's a terrible thing to look at. Right? So we're going to understand what that is about. Right? So the angel is not sweet and kind looking. No way into the scriptures you go see that the people just always say, well, they have a terrible countenance. Most of them when they had an encounter with an angel, right? And we will get to understand now that the angels are the Most High. It are different type of angels, right? So sometimes when you think when you watch like this, if you watch here, you go see this one. So that this not real because it has no female angels, right? It's only a male angel. That's the first thing, right? So there's an illusion here, right? I'll go back, right? And if it was even the majority that have here is the majority that have here is female, right? Right. They like to get images like this, right? All the angels appear in the same, like yeah, go ahead. Yeah, right. So it get to get the illusion that all the angels are the same, right? Everybody wearing white. And understand, if one have a ring on the finger, next one have a ring on the finger and going down the line, right? Everybody singing in G flat. You understand? Right? Everybody is just the same. You understand? You make one standards for one, everybody are the same standards. That I not the Most High, right? That no way in the scriptures, right? No, all of angels make different. Just like how today, right? You will have like how we in the ISUPK. All are in the ISUPK, right? But yet you could still tell everybody about individual personality, but we are the same spirit.
Right.
So the spirit is what bonding we together as one. But if you feel to wear a black shirt, you can wear a black shirt.
Right. Right.
And understand? And next man might feel to wear a red shirt, he wear a red shirt. You understand? Not that kind of clown thing like how the purple faggots is everybody wearing purple and all that kind of nonsense. You understand where I'm coming from? Or next one everybody wearing blue or everybody orange. You understand? That the most I make that so. Otherwise, it make everybody the same way. You understand where I'm coming from? And that is why, right? And these are important part here. That is why it have Israelites and Chinese and Edomites, which is the white man, and all different reasonable people, because the Most High does make things different for different purpose. Everything about purpose. That is why he make the world different. Understand? So even down and first to show you how the Most High like to make things different, even down to your fingerprint. Not the same. You understand? If I print my hand here and you print your hand here, they two different people. You understand where I'm from? So that's a good thought to keep in your mind, right? He like to make things different, right?
Right.
So we're going along. So they had 4 faces, right? So that was about terrible countenance, right? So we will go and get an example of when an angel meets somebody. So we go into Judges 13 and verse 2. Babakasha. Right? We will come back to the Ezekiel just now. Right? Judges 13 and verse 2. Babakasha. Yeah.
The book of Judges 13 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah.
Right, Manoah, right? So this was Manoah for basically the Danites, the tribe of Dan, right? At that time, when Dan was still existing, now they get integrated into the other tribes, right? So this man, you know, basically, I just kind of fast forwarding. This was Samson's father, right? Go ahead.
And his wife was barren and bare not, and the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman.
Right. So they say now she was barren, right, and she couldn't make train, right? Right before she made Samson, so they didn't have no train, right? And the angel of the Lord appeared unto she. Go ahead.
And said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son.
Right. So he tells she barren, right? And bearest not, but thou shalt conceive a son. Right? And all this, I don't know, like how they talk about immaculate conception and thing. This is the same thing. And as I'm coming from, when he come to Elizabeth, which was John's mother, was barren, till she make a child. Right? Well, Mary wasn't barren, but he tell Mary, you're going to make a child. The angel came the same way to cheer them. You understand? And somehow they get plain. The man just come to drop a message. Right? Yeah, continue.
Now, therefore, beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine, nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing.
Right. So that was the stipulation the Most High laid on, right, for Samson, because Samson was special, right? Continue.
For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head.
Right, and say no razor shall come upon his head, meaning he couldn't trim. It don't mean that he had a ras. Right? It just means that he go be plaiting here from small. You understand? He went trim, right? Go ahead.
For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb.
Right, so from his birth he was given to the Lord, right? Go ahead.
And he shall begin to deliver Israel of the hand of the Philistines.
right? Because at that time, right, Israel sinned against the Lord and they end up under the hands of the Africans, right? So we was under them for I think for about 40 years, right? Well,
Verse 6. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel.
right. So she when the man come unto she and tell she, explain to she gonna have a son and she can't eat the different things she can't eat and she can't partake in, right? And how to grow him up. She run and tell she husband, right? And she say now, a man of the Lord came to me, right? And he countenance was like the countenance of an angel. And this is where the white supremacy and the white man today rub way. Because they could have know, right, that he had the countenance of an angel.
Right.
Because why? The forefathers keep telling them this is what an angel would look like.
Right.
You understand? But we get robbed of that. You understand? We don't know. You understand? Until now, thank God under Commander General in the ISUPK, we now getting to know what an angel look like.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from? Right? Go ahead.
Of God. Very terrible.
How he was?
Very terrible.
That's right. You understand? The countenance of this man was very terrible and very militant. Right? So go ahead.
But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name.
Right. So she never asked him where he come from, and she never asked him his name. So it's like you're seeing somebody come up to you, they deliver a message from you, they say, this is for the Most High, right? She didn't ask him where he from, right? And she didn't ask him his name, right? But she say he was a man of God, right? So she know he was a man of God by what? By the way, go ahead. Officer Macbeth.
By the way he reached.
Right. By the way he greet she, and it will be by the way he dress. Right? Because the most people don't dress a certain way.
Right.
You understand where I'm coming from? Okay. So that you know off the bat. Right? That man every walking down the road and we see I SUPK officer come from America and you see him and meet him in Trinidad, you might know who he is or you will know where he's from.
Right. But
the way he dress
right.
would tell me now. This man here looking like a UPK man. And then you go inquire. Right? Continue.
But
Salakia, go ahead, Officer Macbeth.
Salakia, I just say it too, and she say he had a fierce countenance, but the angels that they give me, the depiction that they give me,
true.
is a set of choir
True.
voice.
True. You understand that?
So that singer.
True. That have a smooth, soft, nature countenance.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And when they portray them in the movie, the light speaking and talking soft, like some faggots. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
so like that into was acquired say.
Yeah, go ahead.
First they have a certain imagination about the self, this white race. Both angels, how the angels look this soft kind of effeminate way, they paint Jesus Christ the same way. Basically.
Yeah, them kind of thing like that. Yeah, you understand? Right? And they keep pushing that effeminate thing upon we, as I rightfully say. You understand? Alright, so continue.
But he said unto me, Behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and now drink no wine nor strong drink.
Right. So that was what she the stipulation she get for she to have the baby, right? Right. So I want to drop down to right, drop down to verse 19.
Verse 19. So man Noah took a kid with a meat offering and offered it upon a rock.
Right. And this part here now, fast forward a little bit, right? She went back and called she husband, and she husband come and meet the angel, right? And the angel explained everything he explained to she, the angel explained to he, right? And when at the time when he realized this man and the Lord come to deliver this message, right? He decided to give him an offering, right? And he tell him, don't give me the offering, give the Lord the offering, right? So that's showing you that right? So all that is garbage, right? The angel tell him, give the offering to the Lord, right? So that is we putting up on the rock. Go ahead.
And the angel did wondrously, and Manoah and his wife looked on.
Right? So this was a wondrous sight, because this is what's going to happen. Go ahead.
For it came to pass, when the flame went up towards heaven from off the altar.
Right? So he make an offering, a burnt offering, right? And the flame now leave the rock we put it on and start the blaze, right? Go ahead.
That the angel of the Most High ascended in the flame of the altar.
Right.
And Manoah and his wife looked on it and fell on their faces to the ground.
Right. And they look on it and fell on their faces because they wasn't expecting that. And understand, a man deliver a message, so you think about it today. Again, in real life, a man come and deliver a message, and when he deliver the message, he say, this message from the Lord, deliver it. Right? And then you say, boy, let me give you something after your long journey. And understand? And he said, don't give me it, give the Most High, give thanks to the Most High. And when you give the thanks to the Most High now, he going up in the flame with the food, everything. You understand where I'm coming from? Right? So there was shock. You understand? A shock value, right? Go ahead, because they're hearing about it from the forefathers, but they're getting to see it now in real life, right? Go ahead.
But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and his wife.
Right, so he going, right? Go ahead.
Then Noah knew that he was an angel of the Most High.
Right, so Manoah didn't know it because he making up, and right at the scripture telling you, be careful, they say entertain strange angels unawares, right? Manoah at that time still didn't even recognize, because he just seen him as a man. And that's where I'm coming from, right? So that was one of the characteristics in Ezekiel, right? The characteristics of a man. So sometimes, if you're not conscious, you ain't gonna make it out, right? Go ahead, Officer Swap, yalla.
You know, we're bringing out the something very valid as well. And even when you explain and all, before in the earlier part of your conversation and all, the topic we're bringing out, you know, that these is things that, you know, that we wasn't aware of what the angel really looked like. And
right.
this brother and this sister now, knowing now, where the forefathers had passed on to them now, had the awareness of what an angel looked like.
That's right.
So you know what they now entertain this brother as we know him as, and knowing now what an angel look like now is very important, and you know as we continue to bring out it, we will be more edified.
Yeah, truth, and I exactly what you're saying, and understand, because that culture didn't live yet.
Right.
Yes, we was going into captivity because we sinned against the Lord, but we didn't lose we culture.
Right.
And that's where I come from. We
Right.
still know we also we garment is with fringe, and we still have the Israelite culture with we. And that's where I come from. We still know we're not supposed to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Right? But we just in captivity. You understand? Alright, going up some of
That is like in the Babylon 15:2, where you're saying that the benefit of our laws, culture, our history.
That's right.
We knew everything.
Yeah, we used to remain with the culture. Until this captivity will strip we dry. Understand? Because they wanted to keep we to the bottom. Right? Because I know anytime we start to serve God, we coming right back on top. Right. So so when he go up in the flame, then Manoah recognize there is an angel, right? And you can read the next verse, Babakisha. Verse 22.
Verse 22. And Manoah said unto his wife, we shall surely die, because we have seen the Most High.
Right, and that to show the power and the authority them angels exude. You understand? Because to them is like the thought they see the Most High. You understand? Come from? Because when they see that and how we go up in the flame, they know nah, we dead. It's like if you hear a noise outside and you peek through your window and you see a drug deal go on, and the man watching the castle and just drive off. In a bed and they're gonna lie down, you can't eat now, boy. That is that they are gone. Because you can't believe you see something that you believe that you're not supposed to see. You understand where I'm from? And that is what happened to them. Right? So the third way that died. Right? But they didn't die. The angel just come to drop a message to them. Go ahead. Officer Shah.
And they have the one to just show them woman and them like to say the woman them like to say that never relationship with the Most High.
That's right. No, and you're right. You're exactly right with that day. Right? No woman can have no relationship with the Most High. They say the one of the attributes of the Most High, they say the Most High is a consuming fire. You understand where I'm from? Meaning wherever he come close to, it will burn. You understand where I'm from? So that we could understand with the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah. One other thing to add to that, they show you the spirit that the Most High and the angels and them carry is the same spirit.
That's right.
Even in the wilderness when he was speaking to the children of Israel, the same Moses,
Yeah.
you understand?
Yeah.
Better you talk to him. You
Yeah.
understand?
You understand? Because
we might die.
and you're right, because that was like a fearful thing.
Yeah.
You understand? You see, they give us the pity and mind that these angels soft, right? And nice to be around and friendly. You understand where I'm coming from? Yes, the fight for Israel, but these angels is soldiers in the Most High army. And them coming to do the Most High business. When the Most High send them out, them obey. Right? So that angels is a serious thing. Right? So we jump back to the Ezekiel 1 and 5, Baba Kisha. Yeah, we was on 6. Start back from the top of 6, Baba Kisha.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 1 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone had 4 faces.
Right. So we get to realize now that when people meet angels, it's not a nice thing. Right? It's a frightening thing. But then it come and say now everyone had 4 faces, right? And this part here have a little bit of Christianity to shut off, because sometimes we just tend to think that it's 4 is a long thing coming out in front and the 2 sides and the back. Right? But that's not what it's saying, right? Read the whole thing, Baba Kisha, read the whole verse.
And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings.
Right. And it drop down to verse 10, Baba Kisha.
Verse 10. As for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man.
Right, so you see that the face of a man,
and the face of a lion,
and the face of a lion,
and the right side, the slap here, and the face of a lion, and on the right side, and the 4 had the face of an ox.
right. So the face of a man, right, on the front, right, the face of a lion on the right side, and the 4 had a face of an ox on the left side. Go ahead.
The 4 also had the face of an eagle.
Right. So sometimes now people tend to think that it's like a man, lion, what else are they? Ox and eagle. Right? But what we're really talking about is the essence of the being, right? The attribute they carry. So now they have the characteristic of a man. They're like a man, right? But just how we have names, right? You know, you go say, Bayat is the covenant, or Swap is the storm of the Lord, right? Swap is not really a storm, but the essence in him could invoke that. You understand where I'm coming from? Right? He could bring the storm on nations. You understand where I'm coming from? So what remember, so Officer Bayat is like the covenant. You understand where I'm coming from? This is an attribute in you. So when they say now, they had the face of a lion, or the face of a ox, right? And the next one was an eagle. These attributes in them, right? And we know our angel could shift, but that warrior ability in them could come out at any time. You understand? So when they're ready to conquer a city, and they take on that attribute of a lion, they will destroy that city. That is the characteristic of a warrior. And a good example is like Mike Tyson. Remember Mike Tyson, the boxer? They used to call him Iron Mike Tyson. Right? Mike Tyson was not a piece of iron, but they know when he come in that ring and he hits you, it's like if a piece of iron hits you. Right? And that is what they're bringing out in the scripture. And understand the attributes in these beings, these warriors. Right. So 1 minute, like an eagle, he ain't missing. Don't feel like it hide in no corner. That's what the attributes of an eagle. And understand? They're picking up all kind of animal from any range. Right. And understand? A lion conquering territory. And understand? And an ox will fight it to the death. Right. They ever watch two ox fight? They will both each other until one knock out and die. And understand? That is how oxes fight. So understand? So they have that characteristic in them, right? Or that essence. Go ahead.
I can say like, you're saying that right? I remember that time now, I went up in the emperor right? Mm-hmm. And it was time to go, right? So everybody was coming back out, right? And right. At the same time, so all the time I remember we went to the football, we went there was 6 times before, right? Mm-hmm. And I never hear lion roar, right? And I was already outside the gate. That's right. When I hear the lion roar, yeah. Like when you still that same fear, when they come in, I hear that for the first time. It bring that fear on you. It bring that fear. So some people now outside, like, whoa! Yeah. Like it's so shocked. Then I still ask him about security. I could go back inside to see that and all, right? Like, and when I was there, when I see the security, come I run back inside to see that, because I was like... Because it was amazing. Yeah, really right? And you see how you explain that there? That's a perfect example. Because picture now, right? You see one of these beasts in action, we go be running away. And that's tell how Jedi will be, right? Go ahead, Officer Bayer.
Yeah, same thing where bringing out with the angels and them have different attributes. Mm-hmm. One of the tribes and them there's other that attribute is God. Mm-hmm. It's the attribute of a lion. Mm-hmm. The fierce, yes,
and all the tribes, all the different tribes have a different strength. Yeah. You understand? Just like every man in here have a name, and understand the name means something. That is an attribute to you. Right. You understand? That is an attribute to bring out. You understand where I come from? Right? Or as I say, that is an attribute to live up to. Right? Continue.
Verse 11.
Yeah. Not verse 11. Go back up to...
Yeah.
No, go back to 7, Bible Christian, because we read 6.
And their feet were straight feet.
Right. So it move now, right? So the face is the essence of the being, right? Right? And how the angels of the Lord is, we put understand, the angels of the Lord does exude or express a very high form of masculinity. You understand? It no effeminism, right? It's like, and a good example, right? Before we go to the feet, a good example. Remember the scripture, right? Just now, give me John 18 and from verse 1, Baba Kisha. You understand? A good example to show the kind of masculinity of our angels operate was a good example was with Christ, right? Give me John 18 and verse 11 and verse 1, Baba Kisha. Right? And it show you that it exudes a high level of masculinity, so it make you afraid, make you frightened.
Book of John, chapter 18 and verse 11.
Right, John 18 and 11. Go ahead.
Then said the Hawashai unto Peter, put up thy sword into the sheath. Right? The sheath a sword holder. Right? Salakia. Not 11. Give me from verse 1. 18 and verse 1, Baba Kisha. Book of John chapter 18 and verse 1. When Yahushai spoke in these words, he went forth with his disciples the brook of
Sedon, where was a garden into the which he entered and his disciples.
Right. So after Yahushua don't speak, he went into this garden with his disciples. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And Judas also, which betrayed him, knew the place, for Yahushua oftentimes restored thither with his disciples.
Right. So just to give a little backstory, this is when Judas sold him out, right, and he went back for the band of men to come and arrest him. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Judas then, having received a band of men and officers from the chief priests and Pharisees, coming thither with lanterns and torches and weapons.
Right. So it's Judas gone. He get a band of men with him. Right. So you have a whole team of men. Right. He get officers of the chief priests because them was the men carrying all the law. Right. There was Israelites, but they still had control of carrying out the law in Jerusalem, right? Although the Roman Empire was ruling, right? And then now, so you have the band men, you have the chief priests, right? And the chief priests and the Pharisees, right? Go ahead.
Yahushua therefore, knowing all things that should come upon him, went forth and said unto them, Whom seeketh ye?
Right. So Yahushua asked them now. Remember, they come with a whole set of men, they come with officers, lanterns, torches, and weapons. Right? They're coming for Christ. All that they have, right? So when Christ realized, well, what's going to happen now? Christ, he go to them and say, well, whom do you seek, right? Go ahead.
And they answered him, Yahushua of Nazareth.
Right. So they say now, we're looking for Jesus of Nazareth, or Yahushua in Hebrew, right? Go ahead.
Yahushua said unto them, I am he.
So Yahushua say, I am he. He telling them is, I is the man you're looking for, right? Go ahead.
And Judas also, which betrayed him, stood up with them.
Right, and Judas was with them. Go ahead.
And as soon then as he had said unto them, I am he, they went backward.
That's right. So it's like, but sometimes we don't get the picture. It's like a whole set of men come for you, right? And they ask you, we buy it, boy. And you just spin around and boy, hey, I see, boy. And everybody, they get so frightened because they wasn't expecting the man to come out at them like that, because they know when we're going to look for a man, usually he just hide. Right. And Yahushua just turn back and say, I see. And everybody fall down to the ground. You understand? That is what happened there. You understand? So when I equate it today, it's like you're going in some terrible area and you're looking for this man, and the man just jump out. And as the police looking for some notorious man, and the man is going, hey, I see, boy. Yeah. Everybody jump. And imagine that are weapons. Right? That they come with a whole set of men, and they come with the officers. That's to show you. You understand? And that is an example to show you the masculinity, right? That Christ used to exude at that time, right? Or express at that time. And it's so, just like how we express that, that's how the angels is. When the angels come and they come to do a job, they come on business. Them coming to execute, them coming to line by the wayside, and well, we go drink 2 beer and chill out, and we go wait until he come outside now. Them coming and bust down the door and give the charge. You understand where I'm coming from? And that is the masculinity of the angels, right? So we can jump back to Ezekiel, Baba Kisha. Right. You understand? So that is the level of authority that has come with, right? Just like how when we go out the street, we just go out in the street with, you understand? Because why? We know we go there under command in Jelly and Hannah. We get authorized to be the priest and prophets of the Lord on the streets, right? So we going out there with that authority. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Yeah, go back to 7, Baba Kisha.
And their feet were straight feet.
Right, so verse 7 says, and the feet was straight feet, right?
And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot.
Alright, good. Stop right there. Right? So they said the feet were like straight feet. Straight feet, right? A straight foot is a man foot. That's how we foot is. We foot straight. But sometimes in my mind, right? We just get the image of a straight foot is like coming down. Right? But that's a vertical foot. Right? coming down. That's not straight foot. A straight foot is like a man. So how a man foot flat on the ground, when you look at any other creature on the earth, nobody else like that. Right? Monkey had the whatever platypus kind of hand thing. Right? Dog have paws, duck have web foot. And I understand everybody, but when it comes to a man, he have a straight foot. Right? His soul like his feet straight and flat on the ground, right?
Right.
So when you say straight foot, so that the foot like a man. Right? Go ahead. Foot like a man, and then what is that?
The sole of a calf's foot.
Right. And the sole of the feet was like a calf foot. Right? It doesn't mean that they had a cow foot or a sheep foot, right? Right? Because remember, he explaining that vision he get, and he trying to give you the best image that he could give you, so that you will understand how the foot was, right? The foot, it's like how ninja shoes is, right? You know the thing and they wrap up the foot, but the big toe does be separated from the rest of the toes, because that is how it was. You understand? So it's a man foot, but with a ninja shoe in the bottom. Then you understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
That is how the foot was. So like a calf foot, it split two then. You understand? Go ahead.
So like I said, kind of like how they would explain the chariots back then.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Somebody was seeing like the chariot with eyes.
Yeah, that's a good example. You understand? Because when they explain the chariots, that's an excellent example. Officer McQuarrie. When they're explaining the chariots, right? They explain the chariots as they had many eyes, right? But it wasn't eyes; it was just lights. But at that time, that type of technology, and that would we just fail to understand with the Most High. We just feel like we smarter than the Most High, like we more technological advance than the Most High. You understand? We feel like the Most High stay in the stone and the horse ages, and we move on.
Right.
You understand? We have what? Sky bomber and Leaps and a Virgin Airwaves, so we more superior and sophisticated. That is not true. The Most High is who created we. How the creator will be less than the creation?
Right.
It could never be.
Right.
You understand? If I create a fan, the fan can be more smarter than me. You understand? He put we together. Right? And we now and we just, but sometimes we just somehow, and that's how the Christianity is coming in mind, we just tend to think that the Most High is still back in the Stone Ages, and we really, as we just say, we just say we in 2020. That is not true. And that is Christianity. Right? Go ahead.
Yes, like that's touching on what you're saying. Like Esau today.
Yeah.
He thinking, well, I'm more technologically advanced now. I know it is the end times.
Yeah.
So he set up a space force.
That's right.
And he's looking for the Most High.
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
And then the Most High,
Yeah.
see that's what we're playing.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
the whole society.
that's a perfect example, you understand? Because they feel that they reach the pinnacle of the heights, you understand? And that rocket and bombs that could track down people and drone and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the Most High way more powerful than that.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from? And we can't follow in mind how powerful the Most High is, right? And lower down, as we're going along, we will get to see how powerful the Most High is, right? So the Most High not no more. We not more technological advanced than the Most High, right? So coming back to the foot was like a man foot, flat on the ground, right? And so that will come for the straight feet, and that the footwear that I have on split the toe like a ninja. You understand? So it gave the image of a calf foot, like a cloven foot, right? Go ahead. After calf's foot.
And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
Right, and this will be a problem for plenty of people, because in many scriptures they talk about burnished brass, right? Burnished brass is a polished brass, right? But how we have brass in our mind is because it portrays only a certain way in TV. But we are accustomed seeing brass, but we now accustomed very watching it that way, right? And this scripture they talk about burnished brass. The angel is burnished brass. Christ is like burnt brass as if burning a furnace. Then when you go in the book of Daniel, it talk about the Most High, right? Like polished brass, and you will get to see what it really is, right? So let's call this, right? All these things like this. Right? I don't know if this one will come up. Right. All them thing like this here, baby Cupid angel and them thing is look what it's saying. In a classical mythology. Right? So it make you know that Cupid is a myth. Them thing not real, right?
Right.
So female angels, baby angels, teenage angels, all them thing is myth.
Right.
Right? Angels are born as men, right? So now they're going to they explain now the characteristics of the angels, how the angel's foot is a normal foot, like a man, right? And the type of footwear they have on, right? So now we're going to the color of the skin, right? Right. This is what we know brass to look like, right? Now there's a polished type of brass, right? And it has different type of brass. That brass which is called gold brass, and gold brass is a very shiny brass, and it's a more lighter complexion brass, right? So this is how we see brass. All them Roman Catholic Church that had a thing, and so there were people that quarrel. People that say, well, nah, well, what's our brass looking? It's yellow, and that's not coming from, and they just want to argue, right? That it's not black, right? But yet still, it's still a shade of brown, and understand in the context, but the scriptures say burnished brass, right? So we're going to get it now, right? And this, you know, let's start with it. Right. Scripture say burnished brass, right? So we're going to see what burnished brass look like. This is the color burnished brass, right? Burnished brass is actually what it means. Burnt-ish brass.
Right.
So brass that burnt.
Right.
Understand? And that we sometimes when you slow down and read, you just understand. Right? What we're trying to tell you is the brass is a burnt brass. Right. Just like Christ, when they say his foot was like brass burnt in a furnace, meaning he was of a dark complexion. So burnished brass is a dark brass. Right? And that is how the angels was, right? So it's saying here now, it's saying, right, that they sparkle, right? The feet now sparkle in the color like burnished brass, right? And when I say sparkle, it has something to call, when I have to find it here, boy, it has something to call. So it's a dark complexion, right? And it has something to call in sacrifice. It has something to call, what it's called chocolate diamond.
Yeah.
Right? And the chocolate diamond, right? The chocolate diamond, the base color of the diamond is brown, right? A brown diamond, right? I'll get one and show you what it looks like. You will use this one. So this one will show. Right. So basically something like this, right? The base color of the diamond is brown. Right? It's a brown diamond, but when it polished, it does reflect like that. It does begin to sparkle.
Right.
Right? So that is something like the how that was. You understand? The base color is brown, but the glory, right? Whether exuding or whether shooting off, right? It making them sparkle.
Right.
And understand? So there was no ashy people with bobo skin. Understand? And bumps. And understand? There was well refined, well anointed, coming to do the most high work, right? And that is something like how it was. The base color is brown, but it's shooting out different colors. You understand? Right? And remember, burnished brass is a brown type of brass. It's a dark type of brass. Right? And that like this. You understand? That's how it was. Right? And it have all different type of brass. It have what they call bronze brass. Because a lot of people do realize what brass, and that is why they say brass is a derivative of brown. We ain't just saying that because we feel to say that, or trying to make brass brown. What people don't understand is brass come from two metal. Brass come from bronze and zinc. Zinc is like something looking almost like silver,
Right.
and bronze, not bronze, copper and zinc, right? because bronze come from copper, right? And when you put the two alloy together and you mix it, you get brass, right? So that is zinc and copper, this give brass, right? But according to how much you put in one, you will get a lighter shade of brass, and if you put more copper, you get a darker shade of brass. So it has some brass looking like bronze, brown. Understand? So that is why the brass that we thinking about in mind is the polished light finish one. That is not the only type of brass, right? Go ahead, Officer Sean.
And that comes when you they call it chocolate what? Chocolate diamond, right?
Yeah, chocolate diamond, yeah.
Like we were working on our project, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had some reelings, right?
Yeah.
And the reeling, it was iron, right?
Right.
Iron reeling, right?
Right.
And after every day, about that period, for about 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
people were putting their hand
On it. Yeah.
holding it, right?
Yeah.
And I never believed that iron could look like crystal.
That's right.
So that people with constant hand,
It get polished.
get
Yeah.
polished.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like shocking when like with that, this is the iron was getting clear so.
Yeah. And that's where I come from, and that is exactly what happened. So burnished brass. Some of the scriptures will tell you like polished brass is burnt brass but it's polished, meaning that it's smooth, it's refined. And understand that there wasn't, as I said before, there wasn't ashy looking,
Right.
and looking tired and hung up, and the skin flaky. That no way to be found in heaven, right? Among the Mosai, right? The Mosai only were the best, right? So and that explained the burnished brass, right? That was the color. Right? So from there now, I want we to move on, right? I want we to move on. Give me second Ezra 6 and 3, Babakisha. Right? And this is the level of Christianity that has taken the world, right? And thank the Most High that under commanding Jerry Hannah, we can learn these records and come back to the culture and history and know the power, right? Which is the Most High that we have behind me, right? So it's 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 3, Babakisha.
Ezra chapter 6 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Before the fair flowers were seen, or even the movable powers were established.
Right. So before the fair flowers were seen, right? Or before the movable what?
Powers were established.
Right. Before the movable powers is the kingdoms of the earth, right? Like oh yeah, different kingdoms ruling the earth. Before even that started to happen, right? Go ahead.
Before the innumerable multitudes of angels were gathered together.
Before what?
Innumerable multitudes of angels were gathered together.
That's right. That's what the saying about the angels said. The angels were innumerable. And we can't miss that. Right? The countless. Everybody feeling that and the field the most I just have 200. Innumerable. You can't number it. You understand? Because you have angels doing all different type of service. Right? It's a angel for war. I always say that different type of angel. You have angel for war, angel to drop message, angel for healing. Right? So it's an angel in different category. And it's not good to find an angel for healing with a big armor on. You understand? It's like a war angel. They make for different purposes. You understand where I'm from? Right? Just like Satan is an angel. He job to do. You understand where I'm from? So it has different categories of angels, right? So we just bring it up. So the angels of the Lord is innumerable, right? So we go through the attributes, we go through what they look like, we go through the color, and we know that the angels innumerable, right? So we're moving on from there. We're going to give me 1 Corinthians 15 and 39, Babakisha.
The book of 1 Corinthians 15 and 39. All flesh is not the same flesh.
Right? See back that one more time again.
All flesh is not the same flesh.
That's right. They're telling you all flesh, right? So all the flesh you see on the earth is not the same flesh, right? There's differences. Just like I was saying before, the Most High makes things different. Understand? And that is where Christianity miss by a mile. We think everybody's, you know, they like to say all always one and all is one blood. And then no, he intentionally make things different. Go ahead.
But there is one kind of flesh of men.
That's right. So man and one kind of flesh. Go ahead.
Another flesh of beasts.
Right. So man and beast be separate. We have so this first line here. One kind of flesh for man and one kind of flesh for beast. How did they say man come from ape that destroy? You understand? It makes sure and tell you, man flesh and beast flesh is two different things. So we can't come from ape, right? Go ahead.
Another of fishes.
Another of fishes. So fish have a different type of flesh, right? Them are scale, right? Go ahead.
And another of birds.
And the birds different. You understand? The feathers, and if you pull out all the feathers, the flesh different to man. Not the same, right? Go ahead.
Verse 40. There are also celestial bodies.
Right, so that's celestial bodies, like heavenly bodies in the sky, we just see, right? Go ahead.
And bodies terrestrial.
Right, so it are celestial bodies, like all like the stars and the moon and the sun, and it have terrestrial bodies, you see the bodies on the earth, right? All the man, animals, like two different type of bodies. So he make a difference between all the bodies on the earth. Flesh, beast, fish, and bird. And then now he still make the bodies in the heavens different from the bodies on the earth. See how much difference is, right? Go ahead.
But the glory of the celestial is one.
Alright.
And the glory of the terrestrial is another.
Right. So the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. When you look at some of the things in the sky, it's amazing. You wondering, hey boy, that sun, day 24/7, shining, and understand? And then when you watch on the earth, and the earth is still amazing. You understand? Because that things in the sky had to stay there, and we on the earth could move around, man could think, Israel had dominion, we could function. Everybody had their own glory, right? Angels had their own glory. Angels have a certain amount of power, right? And authority, and they could pull out the sword and like today cause corona. You understand from? That idea glory. You understand? A man, you know what we glory? We could go to the street and preach and redeem a whole nation.
That's right.
You understand? That we glory. You understand where I'm from? Right? So everybody had their own glory. Go ahead.
There is one glory of the sun,
Mm-hmm.
and another glory of the moon.
Right. So the sun has its own glory, the moon has its own glory. And understand where I'm from? The sun has one way to operate, the moon has one way to operate. Right? And both of them amazing. Right? Go ahead.
And another glory of the stars.
Mm-hmm. And another glory of the stars. And understand? The stars tell you all the signs and seasons, when to plant, when not to plant, when winter come in. All of the stars will tell you, right? And there's even their direction, right? On the planet. Go ahead.
For one star different from another star.
What happened to one star?
One star different from another star.
That's right. You understand? That the most ability. So when he's saying down, he then if he did sit down and make everything the same, it come like that laziness. I show you. But he share how much he put thought, understand, and to put it together this whole operation called the earth and the worlds. You understand where I'm coming from? Everything different. Stars different, the moon and the sun different, all the beasts on the earth different, everything different. You understand? Because that the most one of the most characteristics. He making two things the same. You understand where I'm coming from? He gonna make me and you the same. We have different attributes, but yet still we could coexist with one another. You understand? We're one in the spirit. You understand? Alright. Alright, that is it on that, right? From there, I want you to go on to right. I want you to go on to give me second Ezra 8 and 21. Babakisha. So many things we learn about the angel tonight. We learn the color, what they look like, and understand how they operate the Most High, right? They're not the same as how some of them images used to show it, and understand some of them images show everybody, but all the angels looking the same, right?
You want to meet an angel, like yes.
Well,
I said, you will know when you meet one.
exactly. You know when they meet an angel, right? That is exactly right. Go ahead. Second Ezra 8 and 21.
The book of Second Ezra 8 and 21.
Go ahead.
Whose throne is in tenable.
So I'm gonna catch up with you. Right, yes. Whose throne is inestimable.
Inestimable.
Right? And that making known nobody know how big the Most High throne is. Nobody know his rulership. Right? Nobody could sort out that, right? Go ahead.
Whose glory may not be comprehended.
Right. Nobody can comprehend the Most High glory. It beyond what we could think about. Go ahead.
Before whom the host of angels stand.
What the host of angels do?
The host of angels stand.
Stand doing what?
With trembling.
What does stand with?
Trembling.
That's right. Now, coming back to the point you were making before, right? When did it see the angel, and the angel come to visit Samson's mother, she said the angel had a terrible countenance. And when they did fully discover the power of the angel when he went up in the flame, they fell to the face and thought that they did see God. Right? That the fear that I had of them. And here it say now, when the angels stand before God, what after them? Did they stand with what?
With trembling.
That's right. The angels stand with trembling before God. So we frighten the angels. And the angels trembling before God. And people that want to say, them have a personal relationship with God. That could never be true.
Right.
That could never be true. You understand? Because it's telling you, these angels, you understand, with all this power and might and authority, breaking ground, causing coronavirus, wiping out cities, bombing down Sodom and Gomorrah. You understand? They stand in front of the Most High with fear and trembling. You understand? And this is in we records, the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. That the kind of God we serving. You understand? That the kind of power we serving. You understand? And it's not a nice thing to know if them trembling, then we gonna shake like leaf, pear pants. You understand? I to tell how jet that is. You understand? Right? So the angels now, I just show you that the angels fear the Most High. Right? And sometimes when I read scripture like this, it does make you the scripture that tell you examine yourself daily. It's like that. You understand? Because when I read scripture like this, it does make you wonder, boy. Sometimes in the mind, right? You know what people in the world they playing mad. I'm my own God. I could do what I want. You understand? Women playing mad. I could dress how I want. But I don't understand. You understand? Who really running this world? Who really running this planet? You understand? The kind of power running this planet. You understand where I'm coming from? And it's really making rock back and check yourself and say, nah boy, I don't go van down. You understand? I don't pull up my handbrakes because them saying, hey, we trembling. You understand where I'm from? And we don't get playing mad. All about the place. You understand? Thinking, hey, party, he's so playing mad. You understand? We have bombs and stealth bombers and you understand? And threatening one another. Hey, they're mad. Them is a bunch of mad people. And the Most High want to wipe them out for the foolishness. I'm telling you. You understand? That scripture say the wicked walk on slippery slope. They don't understand how slippery that slope is. Right. You understand? Right? So from there we jumping down now to the book of Chronicles, chapter 18 and verse 18. Second Chronicles 18 and 18. Babakisha. right? We're going to see how the angels operate. Understand? And show the how it are different type of angels, right? Go ahead. Second Chronicles 18 and verse 18.
Book of Second Chronicles, chapter 18 and verse 18. Again, he said thereof, hear the word of the Most High. I saw the Most High sitting upon his throne.
Right. And this was a prophet, right? And what is Israel was going to fight a war, right? And they send for the prophets to prophesy for them to see if they'll go win the war, right? And all the prophets in the city telling them now, right, that they'll go win the war, right? But the king now, like King Ahab, telling them, it have a certain prophet. When I send for he doesn't prophesy nothing good. He not prophesy nothing good in my favor.
Right.
And he afraid now that he go tell him that he go lose the battle, and then now the war can't go, right? Because he personally want to go and take the city, right? So he sent for him, right? And this is the prophecy he given him, you know. Go ahead.
And all the hosts of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left hand and on his left.
Right. So the prophet telling him, right? Therefore, I hear the word of the Lord, right? So the word of the Lord come to him and say, right? He says, see the Lord sitting on a throne, and the host of heaven, right? So the host meaning the army. So you see the army of the Most High standing on the right hand and on the left. Right? Go ahead.
And the Most High said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel?
Right? And the Most High asking them now, asking the angel, who will entice Ahab, the king of Israel? Go ahead.
That he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead.
Right, because he want to hear. And that's not coming from. So the Most High get the angels together and saying, who want to take up this job? Ahab gonna dead today. Who is the man to do it? Go ahead.
And one speaking, saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner.
That's right. So they're discussing back and forth. I go do this. Next man say he go do that. And next man say I go catch him with a sky hook. And so next man say I go with a chariot. And so he going down. Go ahead.
Then there came out a spirit and stood before the Most High and said, I will entice him.
So he said, the man stand up now. And he said, nah, all he had the plan. I believe I had the plan. I go entice him. Go ahead.
And the Most High said unto him, wherewith?
Right? So he asked him, what you go do? Go ahead.
And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets.
That's right. Understand? So this angel say he could be a lying spirit. And that is to tell you how the power the Most High have. Understand? And the power when the Most High send the angels obey him. Understand? And this angel come up with the idea to be a lying spirit in the mouth of the prophets, because he know he will listen to the prophets. Go ahead.
And he said, go out. So right? And the Most High said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so.
Right. So the Most High gave him permission. Right? Just like how Satan is.
Right.
You understand? The Most High gave Satan permission to carry out certain tasks. You understand where I'm from? And the Most High gave him permission, gave him tasks to go and be a lying spirit in the mouth of the prophets. Because Ahab, he didn't want to hear. Because he find when I believe the prophet was Micaiah, the prophet Micaiah, right? When Micaiah prophesied to him, he tell him the truth, right? So he tell him, hey, you ain't go win. Understand? Because of the circumstances, how all you conducting yourself. You understand where I'm from? And the other prophets, them ain't care. Them that lying. You understand? And say, nah, you go ahead, you inside, you go win. You understand? And he wanted to hear the other prophets, and he didn't want to hear the prophet of the Lord. You understand? And the Most High sent a lying spirit. So all the other prophets are to say, yeah, you're going up there and you go win. You understand? Go ahead, continue. Yeah, go ahead.
Move on,
Officer Swap. Yeah.
You know, just as he was bringing up in Second Ezra's day, with that trembling, and it goes to show now the kind of spirit that will really take And really, in had that fear at the Most High, and in really understanding that, every day that, he really gave you that chance to breathe.
Yeah.
Is a chance to really repent.
That's right.
And to really give yourself right.
Get yourself right.
So, all these examples again, because again, over 400 years, and now, again, you must say, Brakataya, Shaita, Command in General.
That's right.
And they continue to bring out, this edifying topic, a very edifying and very educational to the nation. And I really pay that, that brothers and sisters really pay attention to the message and not just, looking after, what taking place.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And right here, yeah, it's a Brakataya, why I was shy, right? And to the most side, right? And the commanding Jayahana, and all the generals and the captains and officers coming down, continue to stick in the truth, continue to push the truth. You understand? So that new brothers and sisters could come in. And then we doing the same thing so that new brothers and sisters could come in. You understand? And as I rightfully say, this year, making it know that sometimes you really have to sit back and check yourself. You understand? And the world, if the world could understand this, the world will be in a different place. You understand? Because we go understand with true authority and power is. You understand? Yeah, so right, it was a lion spirit, right? In the mouth of the prophets, right? And I will just pass forward this part, but in the end, he ended up listening to the lion prophets, and he ended up getting killed in battle. You understand? Right? He tried to disguise himself. Right? He make Jehoshaphat where he royal robe now, right? And he take out the king garment and go on in a normal soldier robe now. And when he do that, and all the attention turned to King to Jehoshaphat, and all the kings of the other nations started run towards because they thought he was the king to kill him now. And when they coming up on Jehoshaphat, they say Jehoshaphat cried to the Lord. And as he began to pray to the Lord, and when they catch the said, they realize Jehoshaphat is not the king. And they say they immediately turn away from him. And when they turn away from him now, remember Ahab was the king of Israel at that time. He hid in a normal soldier uniform. Right? Because he know the heat go towards the king now. And when he hid in a normal soldier uniform, a normal soldier pull a bow and hit him. Understand? So he died by the hand of a normal level soldier. Understand? Because normally the normal soldiers go fight and the headmen go battle it out now. Understand? So like if you is a king and I is a king, even though the battle going on, it had like a kind of honor. Understand? Nobody who lesser in rank will again that is we battling together now. But he ended up getting killed by the wayside because he tried to hide. Understand? And they say well, he leaned up on the chariot and beat out until he dead. Understand? And so he ended up dying. And I'd like to show you how the angels, it doesn't slip. They're making sure and carry out that order, whatever order they get. And they don't miss, right? So the angels fear the Most High and let us obey the Most High. Whatever he tell them to do, let us do it. Right? We jump down from there. We're gonna get a little bit about right? We're gonna get a little bit about the angels, right? And how does operate, right? So we jump down to we're going back in the Apocrypha, right? Go in 2 Maccabees 3:25, Baba Kisha.
The book of 2 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 25. For there appeared unto them an horse, Salakia, and there appeared unto them an horse with a terrible rider upon him.
Right. Salakia, jump back up. Well, you have a little time. Jump back up to verse 1, Baba Kishan.
Okay. The book of 2 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1. Now when the holy city was inhabited with all peace.
Right. So the holy city Jerusalem inhabited with all peace. So there's no disturbance, right? Go ahead.
And the laws were kept very well. Because of the godliness of Onias, the high priest. And his hatred of wickedness.
That's right. Understand? So Onias was the high priest, and they say the laws were kept very well because why? He hates wickedness. Right? Well,
verse 2. It came to pass that even the kings themselves did honor the place and magnify the temple with their best gifts, insomuch that Seleucus of Asia, of his own
revenues, yeah,
bear all the costs belonging to the service of the sacrifices.
right. So kings of the other nations paying Israel tribute because they recognize this city as a well-run. It's my scripture in Deuteronomy to tell you the nations go see the how Israel operates. I paraphrasing and understand that these are wise and understanding people. That is exactly what happening here. They started paying the nation of Israel tribute, right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. But one, Simon, of the tribe of Benjamin, who was made governor of the temple, fell out with the high priest about disorder in the city.
That's right. And this right here is our brother scripture. Right? A man fall out in the temple. You understand where I'm from? Two men fall out because of and you go see the disagreement why they fall out, right? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And when he could not overcome Onias, he got him to
Apollonius, go ahead.
Apollonius, the son of Trices, who then was governor of Seleucia and Phoenice.
So he fall out, and when he realized he can't get away, when he realized, when he realized he can't get away over the priest, he go on to the next man, right? And I tell you why brotherhood is important. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And told him that the treasury in Jerusalem was full of infinite sums of money.
Right. So he followed Onias and realized he can't overcome the head priest. Right? And he go on and tell the next man the treasury full of money. Right? Go ahead.
So that the multitude of their riches, which did not pertain to the account of the sacrifices, was innumerable, and that it was possible to bring all into the king's hand.
You understand? So the saying, they're saying now, Jerusalem has too much money, we're going to take the money from their treasury and get the king. Right? And king of our next nation. Right? Go ahead.
Now when Apollonius came to the king and had shewed him of the money whereof he was told, the king chose out Helodorus,
Helodorus, go ahead,
his treasurer, and sent him with a commandment to bring him the foresaid money.
Right. And all this happened, right? Because two men in Israel fall out. You understand where I'm from? And one gonna lie and say the treasury have a whole set of money. It basically come like to sell them out, right? For the other nations now to get greedy and come and take it, right? And the king now send this man, right? Which is Helodorus, right? To come and take the money from the treasury. So they're gonna take the money by force, right? So we dropping back down to 25. Just go up to get some context, right? Go ahead.
Verse 25.
Yes, no, verse 25. Right. Start from about start from 22.
22. Verse 22. They then called unto the Almighty, and they then call upon the Most High to keep the things committed of trust safe and sure for those that had committed them.
Right. So we fast forward a little bit. Right. So when the king give this heathen man now, right, to come and take the money from Israel treasury because they get greedy now, right? All because two men in Israel fall out and he go and tell them that tell the other nation that we have a whole set of money in the treasury. The king send this man to take the money from the treasury, right? And when the word get out now that this man coming to take the money from the treasury, so everybody get frightened. People start around. All who was who was in the temple and thing run out because they know die death. Because this man coming with a whole band of men to take, they know they war, die bloodshed. So people started run. But the people in the temple now begin to call upon the Lord. Because remember, in the beginning, they used to keep the laws well. So this is when Israel was functioning properly. Alright? They go in the temple and begin to call upon the Lord now. Go ahead.
God. Verse 23. Nevertheless, Helodorus executed that which was decreed.
Right, so Helodorus come in to take the money. Go ahead.
Now as he was there, present himself with his guard about the treasury, the Most High of Spirits, the Lord of Spirits, and the Prince of all power caused a great apparition.
Right? Salakia, what was you on?
Verse 24.
Right. So you see now, the Lord of Spirits, which is the Most High, and the Prince of all power with Christ, caused a great apparition. Right? Just as they're about to come in to take the money in the treasury. Right?
So that all that presumed to come in with him was astonished at the power of the Most High and fainted.
Right.
And was so afraid.
Right. So the host of that men that was about to come in the treasury to take the money, the apparition the Most High make, everybody lost the belly. Nobody want to fight again. Because with a sea, man belly cut. All who was bad man lost the strength immediately. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 25. For there appeared unto them an horse with a terrible right.
That's it, eh? So this is the apparition. They explain what happened with the sea.
Can.
Out of nowhere, right? Appeared unto them a horse with a terrible rider. Right? So this horse have an angel riding it. Right? Everybody get to see this. It come out of nowhere. As they go in the treasury, right? Go ahead.
And adorned with a very fair covering.
That's right. And the rider covered with a very fair covering, right? So this rider looking like somebody notable. Go ahead.
And he ran fiercely.
Right? And he ran fiercely. So he riding a horse. And he running up hard, right? Go ahead.
And smote at Helodorus with his forefeet.
Right. So he riding the horse. And while he's riding up to Helodorus, he just like a football. Your forefoot, he kick him. While he's riding the horse, right? So go ahead. Helodorus was a white man, right? So he kick him. Right, go ahead.
And it seemed that he that sat upon the horse had a complete harness of gold.
A complete harness of what?
A complete harness of gold.
That the kind of authority the angel has come with. You understand? So he riding a horse. He garment fresh and the harness where he holding the horse with gold. You understand where I'm from? Go ahead.
Verse 26. Moreover, two other young men appeared before him.
So this man appeared out of thin air riding a horse with a gold harness. Right? He kicked Herodias and then now two men, right, come out of nowhere. So two more angels come out of thin air. Go ahead.
Notable in strength.
Notable in what?
Notable in strength.
Nah, that was thin.
Notable in strength.
That was weak.
Notable in strength.
That was strong. That man was buff. You understand? Mike Tyson dudes come out. You understand? Men with big guns. You understand? Ready for war. That way the Most High have inside. That's the weirdest feel that we more advanced than the Most High. No. You understand? I don't know Esau them destroyed. They don't understand how destroyed them is. You understand? Every time I read we records, I just get strong. You understand? Because out of thin air, two men come up with the big guns, ready to blaze. They must pump in iron way back. Right? Go ahead.
Excellent in beauty.
Excellent in what?
Excellent in beauty.
That's right. Go ahead.
And comely in apparel.
That was fresh. You understand? The guns blazing, that $6 the arms blinging, and they're wearing the best and looking the best. Go ahead.
Who stood by him on either side?
So the stand up now on the two sides of Herodias, because remember the horseman kicked him back. So by the time he jacked back, not here, so and make 2-3 steps. Two men come out of thin air again, two angels, and stand up on the two sides of him, right? Go ahead.
And scourged him continually.
And do what?
And scourged him continually.
And do what?
And scourged him continually.
When they say scourge you, They started beat him one time. So put it. They go to enter the treasury to take the money. Right? The horse jump out, boom, out of thin air. Everybody get frightened one time. Because they don't know where that horse coming from. The man with a gold harness, he just fresh. He hit him a stamp here, so boom. By the time he just sent back, two strong men come out. 2 more angels. And started share legs one time. They didn't ask no question. Legs shared. Because you try to rob the treasury. They will ask the names after, right? Go ahead.
And gave him many sore stripes.
And gave him what?
Many sore stripes.
Yeah, but the real beat that boy, yeah. The beat that are punk. You understand? He get real bad licks. You understand? And that's a dread thing, watch. He get licks. The most I send a beating for you personally. I tell you how the most I take robbing the treasury as an insult. You understand? That is some of the most I love people. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
set an example.
That's right. Don't try that. You understand where I'm from? Don't even try that. So when I tell you about the 12 tribes of Israel and how the nations will be paying tribute to me, somebody go try that. And you go set an example. You understand? Yeah. Right, go ahead.
Verse 27. And Helidorus fell suddenly onto the ground.
So after now you get this stamp and they started beat that one time, cuff started pass, relics, right? They started beat him with sore stripes. It say now Helidorus fell to the ground, go ahead.
And was compassed with great darkness.
And was compassed with what?
Great darkness.
When they say compassed with great darkness, what do I mean? K.O. He knock out. You understand? Yeah, the man get Iron Mike Tyson. What let's call the next man? Wilder the bronze man. You understand where I'm from? He get knocked out. Right? Go ahead.
But they that were with him took him up and put him into a litter.
Right. So when they realize he get knocked out now, the men who come with him take him and pull him back in the crowd now. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 28. Thus him that lately came with a great train and with all his God into the said treasury.
With all his God.
Yeah, Salakia. With all his God into the said treasury, they carried out, being unable to help himself with his weapons. And manifestly they acknowledge the power of the Most High.
Alright, so nobody want to fight again. They pick him up and they realize we can't, the way them have there, we can't fight that. You understand where I'm from? So they realize now, boy, we are the back out, right? Right. Let me drop down a little bit. Go down to verse 33.
Verse 33. Now, as the high priest was making an atonement, the same young men in the same clothing appeared and stood beside Helidorus.
Right. So the same two buff angels, remember the two buff angels who beat him? Who share legs? They come back again. Right? Was when he catch back himself, he knock out, he catch back himself, they come back again. Go ahead.
And Salakia appeared and stood beside Helidorus, saying, Give Onias, the high priest, great thanks, insomuch as for his sake the Most High had granted thee life.
Y'all see that man there? Y'all gonna apologize to that man and tell him it's only because right? He did make a sacrifice for your health, you're living. Because we did come to kill you. You understand? So y'all gonna apologize to the high priest. Right? Go ahead. And that's how you know this Bible is a black man book. Go back and tell that man is sorry. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 34. And seeing that thou hast been scourged from heaven,
where you get scourged from?
From heaven.
That's right. The Most High sent a personal beating for him. You understand where I'm coming from? Go ahead.
Declare unto all men the mighty power of the Most High. And when they had spoken these words, they appeared no more.
That is it. You understand where I'm from? The Most High sent a personal beating to him and he has to go and apologize to the high priest. You understand? Right? And drop to verse 37. I didn't show how far let's go. Go ahead.
Verse 37. And when the king Helidorus, who might be a fit man to be sent yet once again to Jerusalem.
So he fully recover now. He fit, he come out from his knockout and he recover from all the licks he get, right? Go ahead.
He said, if thou hast any enemy or traitor.
Right. So he fit again and in a position where he could go back and take revenge. Right? Go ahead. This is what he say. Go ahead.
if thou hast any enemy or traitor, send him thither, and thou shalt receive him well scored.
That's right. So he warning the other nation and all the other people around him. If all you and anybody all you want to send there, he telling them what happened in advance. You get real beaten. Go ahead.
If he escape with his life,
If you escape with your life, right, they're coming back sore. Go ahead.
for in that place, no doubt, there is an Salakia. No, Salakia. For in that place, no doubt, there is an especial power of the Most
That's
High.
right. You understand? He tell them, hey, I'm sure. You see in that place there, I tell them that them have a power that it's special. You understand? That power, go ahead, and if you will explain even further what we mean, go ahead, go down to verse 39.
Verse 39. For he that dwelleth in heaven hath his eye on that place and defended it, and he beateth and destroyed them that come to hurt it.
That's right. You understand? The most I watching that place, and if you come to destroy it, he beaten you. And that the kind of power Israel have when we obey the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? Them didn't even have to fight. The Most High send 3 angels and destroy a whole set of men. Bad. And still be the leader and make him go back and apologize. You understand? And that is what written in real records. And that is what people missing. You understand? This is the kind of glory or power and authority the Most High have over this nation.
Right.
You understand? Right? And we have a little time again, so I'll just jump to one more scripture and then we will close off, right? So I want to jump to 2 Maccabees chapter 11. I will tell you where to start. 2 Maccabees chapter 11. That's 11. Right. Jump up to verse. Go to verse 1.
The book of 2 Maccabees chapter 11 and verse 4. Not all, Salakia, not at all considering the power of the Most High, but puffed up with his 10,000s of footmen.
Salakia. Go straight to verse 1, Babakisha.
Verse 1. Can. 2 Maccabees chapter 11 and verse 1. Not long after, Lysias, the king's protector and cousin, who also managed the affairs, took sore displeasure for the things that were done. And when he had gathered about 4,000 with all the horsemen, he came against the Jews.
Right. So this is our next king now, coming to fight the Jews, right? Go ahead.
Thinking to make the city an habitation of the Gentiles.
And there's the mindset. He coming to make Jerusalem a habitation of Gentiles, right? That's the mindset he coming with. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to mash up the city. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And to make a gain of the temple, as of the other chapels of the heathen, and to set the high priesthood to sale every year.
That's right. So he looking to come and put everybody in slavery, take over the temple, put them in tribute, right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Not at all considering the power of the Most High.
What he was considering?
Not considering the power of the Most High.
That's right. That was happening to people on the earth today that doesn't consider the power of the Most High, right? Go ahead.
But puffed up with his 10,000s of footmen.
All right. He had plenty soldiers. He like Donald Trump. You understand? Our thousands of footmen and our base all in Indonesia. So you get puffed up, right? Go ahead.
And his thousands of horsemen.
Yeah, real horsemen.
And his 400 elephants.
That's right. The elephants, the bombers. I have bombers, but I'm drones. You understand? I can fight anybody. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 5. So he came to Judea and drew near to Bathsheba, which was a strong town.
That's right. Go ahead.
But distant from Jerusalem about 5 furlongs, and he laid sore siege.
That's
on
right.
it.
So he come to Judea, right? To lay siege on that town. But the city is a strong town, but it's far from the main city capital, right? Go ahead.
Verse 6. Now when that, Salakia, Now when they that were in Maccabeus heard that he besieged the host,
Right? So then with Maccabeus, they get word now, right? That they're coming to besiege the city. Go ahead.
they and all the people with lamentation and tears besought the Most High.
With what? Lamentation and what?
With lamentation and tears besought the Most High
Go ahead.
that he would send a good angel to deliver Israel.
What you said then?
A good angel to deliver Israel.
That's right. So the cry upon the Lord to send an angel. Any kind of power and authority, because we know when the angel touch down is war. Understand? The most are warriors, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. Then Maccabeus himself, first of all, took the weapons, exhorting the other that they would jeopardize themselves together with him to help the brethren.
That's right. So they're ready to go and fight. Right? Go ahead.
So they went forth together with a willing mind. And as they were at Jerusalem, there appeared before them on horseback,
All right.
one in white clothing.
Start from it up again with that same verse.
Verse 8. And as they were at Jerusalem, there appeared before them on horseback, one in white clothing.
That's right. An angel appeared, right? When they was at Jerusalem, right? Before them on horseback. Again. Right? Go ahead.
Shaking his armor of gold.
Shaking what?
His armor of gold.
What armor was?
His armor of gold.
The angel who come to fight for them, the armor was gold.
God.
You understand? People don't understand. After we just think we more fresh in 2020. Gucci and Prada. The most I that garbage. You understand? The most I warriors. Not even he warriors. Armor is gold. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 9. Then they praised the merciful power altogether.
I'm picture this, picture. Remember like one angel, right? And the most I say in the last days, right? He was saying what 200 million angels. I picture 200 million angels in gold armor. Picture that sight. You can't see nothing because when you look up, you're blind. And as I'm coming from, you blind. And as I'm coming from, when you see that, go ahead.
And took heart insomuch.
Salakia. Get ready. No, I say you okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 9. Then they praised the merciful power altogether and took heart insomuch that they were ready not only to fight with men.
That's right. So when they see this angel come out on a horseback in gold armor, they lost the mind, right? And here what they're saying, right? They're saying now they start praise God because the mind blow. So it's like world star. And they start say, wait, we get through. And understand? When they see this angel come on, right? Go ahead.
In so much that they were ready not only to fight with men.
So there was not only ready to fight with men. So they know if we're gonna fight an army, we're winning. They ain't started fight yet. But when they see what come out of thin air, they know we could beat any army. Go ahead.
But with the most cruel beasts.
So there was not only right ready to fight men, but there was even ready to fight with the most cruel beasts. Because they know that them guns are nothing there, that come out of thin air, we beat anything. Right, go ahead.
And to pierce through walls of iron.
And even, right, they were so sure that I was going to win, they thought they could have pierced through walls of iron. Imagine he's a man. He's a man. And the Most High send help for you. And they know if me send me through this wall of iron, I'm going through. That is kind of confidence the game. And understand that? That show the power of the Most High. Because when they watch the stature that being, understand, and how we looking, and the warlike appearance, them nobody watch we going through anything. And understand where I'm coming from? It's like how Donald Trump had all the bombs and whatever. Yeah, all that. And when the last day reach and they see the glory of the Most High, you know what? But we can kill everybody. You understand where I'm coming from? Go ahead.
Yes, so like yesterday, they're saying that it's just like what Jeremiah man said. Your job is to make sure the Most High with you.
That's right. Yeah. You understand where I'm coming from? And once the Most High with you, as we just say locally, you inside. You understand where I'm coming from? I just lay down them last two scriptures is just to show when Israel functioning in that true glory,
Right.
and the Most High backing we, this is the kind of power we have.
Right.
And this is the kind of power the angels have. You understand where I'm coming from? And this is who we have on we side. You understand? Once we submit to the power of the Most High, and it just make it to feel that when it's submit to the power of the Most High, it's like in bondage, but then they're not true. You understand? This is the true freedom. You understand? When nobody can overtake a nation. You could go on in your bed and sleep in the night, and sure, nobody can come in your nation and overtake it.
Right.
Once they follow the laws of the Most High. You understand? And with that, I want the party class to on to Priest and Officer Tazawa.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
Alright. Look at me.
Yeah, you good.
Alright.
I'm gonna take my little thing. Yeah, it's alright. I should catch it. Come here.
Alright. Okay, security announcements. We are the ICPK out of 1 West 125th Street, New York, under Command in General Yan. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. You know what I mean? You salute them with the sister salute, the brother salute the same way with the brother, the same way with the sisters, right? They are here to shut themselves up the world, you know what I mean? To take over all the garbage you learn in the world. After the 6-month period, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After that 6-month period, then the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Alright? Tithes, which is the commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 2, verses 8 to 10. 8 to 10, Salakia, means 10 in Hebrew, and it's pronounced Ma'aishah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the church department or the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, alright, there's September the 17th, Salakia, Thursday, September the 17th, at sundown. Alright, that's the memorial of the Blood of Trumpets. Right, and you can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 to 25. Alright. Remind Akim and Watem, which mean brothers and sisters, to check on social media such as iscpk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISCPK events and materials, right? Like the upcoming cookout in New York, in Harlem, New York on the 19th, I believe. You'll double check with you, but again, continue to watch up the social media, so you'll be able to see if you have anybody that close by, if you close by yourself, to go and see, come and connect with your brothers and sisters over there and find out, how the families take care of one another and how they just rock in the spirit of the Most High, alright? For real, if your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headband or scarf, everything black. Alright, and with that we say imagine which means to stand, Lapanya put them, turn and face the east. What we're going to be saying is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew first. Alright, and then the English, back here. Right. Abanau. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Ayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakotka. Tabaa. Ratazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazaka. Kawa. Ayah. Bashemayim. Latananau. Lakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalaknanau. Kawabatnau. Kasalaknau. Kawabatnau. Alaa. Tabaya Aino, Manasaiwan, Abal, Awashaino, Ayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wahala, Watapara, Walamiam, Aman.
What you said in the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our to forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Okay, we're gonna say the hakak now, which means the prayer, which means the power salaki in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Babakashah, Tananawa, Aka, Lorapa, Kalmakala, Okan Aka, Lataha, Hamatazariam, Aka, Lakwayam, Amathiam, Aka, Anrakawa, Atamaala, Lagarashan, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Tawadama.
What he said in the English was Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal, all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. We thank you. So be it. We're going to say the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us. Thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school, force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nation and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogue and armies, Roman Catholic Church, Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, Skinheads, Posikomotazi, Gay Movement, Lesbian Movement, Spies, Workers of Witchcraft, NASA Space Program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, the cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let the Yahushai and Micah and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen and come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
Alright, this is the prayer for the blessing of the structure in the school. Barakatah Yahweh.
Yahushai.
Wamakala. Walahayim. Madazabiah. Alawapihan. Alawapiam. Asraniam. Akwatazayim. Akiyaliyam. Wakwathiam. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Tawada Aman.
What we said in the English was, blessed be Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angel, commanding General Yohana, the generals, the captain, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, we thank you. So be it.
Alright, this is the prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh. Basham. Yahushai. Barak Lanao. Wayashala. Wabayat. Sapari. Barak. Rapa. Magan.
Commander General Yohana.
Commander General.
All the generals.
All the generals.
Captains.
Officers. Troopers. Sisters. Children.
The destroyer of Israel.
Destroyer of Israel.
All 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
All 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
Brothers and sisters fighting to come into the truth.
Brothers and sisters fighting to come into the truth.
ISUPK Trinidad and Tobago.
ISUPK Trinidad and Tobago.
ISUPK Trinidad all over the world.
ISUPK all over the world. Aitisha, Tazapa, Pataza, Yapa, Tamar,
Commanding General,
Generals, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children,
all the destroyed of Israel,
Kayalwana, Barak Shariah, Kintian family, Woslan family, Ikoto family, Philip family.
Commanding General Yohana. All the generals,
all
the captains,
all
the officers,
all the
troopers, all the students, all the sisters, Shamka, Kaya, Yapa, Para, Kintian family.
Commanding General Yohana.
Generals, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children,
the destroyer of Israel. ISUPK Trinidad and Tobago. ISUPK Worldwide. Mataza. Daf. Yakar. Philip family. Alexis family. John family. Commanding General Yohana. Generals, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, students, brothers and sisters fighting to come into the truth. All the destroyed of Israel. ISUPK Trinidad and our families. Next month.
Commanding General Yohana, Generals, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, all in the destroyed of Israel. Officer Galawan and family, Officer Suwapan family, Officer Matquayakan family, Officer Makan family, Officer Yakaran family, Officer Tazawan family, Officer Shan family, Officer Barriatan family. The John family, Alexis family, Ikoto family, Philip family.
All the brothers and sisters in ISUPK,
All brothers and sisters
all brothers and sisters find coming the truth, Trinidad ISUPK, Francois family, Wrong family, Zion, Wesleyan, Daniela, Jamilia, Nima, Khadija, Trisha, Ashida, Angel, Chantel, Mylan.
ISUPK Global. Commanding General Yohana. Generals. Captains. Officers. Troopers. Sisters. Children. Have mercy on the destroyed of Israel. Watch over ISUPK in the future. As we grow. Dabawa, Aliyah, Alicia, Teresa.
Basham Yahushai. Tawada Aman.
What we said in the English was Lord, in the name of Yahushai. Bless us, and Israel, and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushai. We thank you. So be it.
Right. Man of Israel, sir, which means the turn. We're going to give the teacher after DC salute. Man of Israel, I Majim Shabbat. I Majim. Barak. Yahweh
Yahushai Bakatam.
Yajimata. Man of Israel, we're going to give the sisters online after DC salute. I Majim Shabbat. I Majim. Barak. Yahweh Yajimata. Class dismissed.